Hello, people. So, this is my first live stream that I'm doing it professionally and personally. Like, I've never done live session, and I'm really excited to, you know, have myself live and make myself comfortable here. And if you are as excited as I'm right now, comment down below. And today we are going to be talk with Prathamesh Dixit, who is a friend and has been a very good mentor for my photographic career. So I've not been into photography already, but he has been nurturing my skills and helping out with whatever I have as a roadblocks. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Prathamesh Dixit to the live session and let's roll the fun right now. I think Prathamesh Dixit is joining and we have him right here.
Hey, hi Shubham.
Hello
How
sir
are
जी,
you?
first class, first class. आप
How are
बताइए.
you? How are you? Doing well? Okay.
I'm
I'm
amazing,
good.
I'm
I'm good.
amazing.
Thank you so much. All
Uh,
set for the weekend.
almost this wait for this live session was like almost a month long.
Right, right, right.
Right. So you done with your dinner?
Yeah. Dinner done, man. I was like looking forward to this session. So I've just covered
Okay.
everything. I've rolled my sleeves and I'm ready to talk with you now.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So,
Yeah.
let's begin with talking about yourself. Let's begin with yourself. Like, let people know about yourself.
Yeah. So we have people, right? Okay, great. Yeah, so myself, Prathamesh Dixit, whosoever don't know about me, I'm a travel photographer. I'm doing it professionally since few years now, along the journey. So my photographic journey started back in 2012, 13, you can say. I started exploring photography during my last years of my college.
Hmm.
But from there in 2013 and 14, I started taking it seriously. I started learning what exactly the DSLR camera photography is. And then I got to know that okay, it's a completely different field altogether. And if you are really serious about it, you have to take it very, very serious and learn it thoroughly along with your career options. So from 2013, I was working back in IT industry. Um, Along with my IT industry, I just got succeeded into few international national awards into the photography, and then I got to know that yes, you have something within you in regards with the photography, so you should be pursuing it probably as a career option. And then by 2018-19, I decided to jump on into full time as a travel photographer. So today I'm a complete freelance travel photographer. I shoot for travel magazines, travel tourism boards, then I sell my fine art prints for home decors, office decors, commercial spaces. At the same time, my prints are available over stock agencies. My photographs are available over the stock agencies. I started teaching people because I got to know that it was a hard journey to be a photographer. So it was like for me, it was like at least 3 to 4 years of graph where I got to know basics of photography. So then I started realizing that, you should be passing out on your knowledge of photography to other people. So I started teaching photography to beginners and photography enthusiasts, no matter if you have a camera or not. I was not aware of the fact that you need a good camera or not. So I just started learning photography when I have got a good camera in hand, but it's not the right ideal case. You can start your photography with any camera. So I started teaching people likewise. And then as the progress went on during the pandemic, now situation is completely different. but I'm still teaching people. I'm selling my photographs to commercial spaces, etc., etc. So that's how my journey is as of now. That's just a brief introduction. I would like to keep this conversation as, talkative.
Yeah,
So
of
yeah,
course, of course.
I would like to keep it as much brief as possible.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. And Prathamesh, like I recently saw your wedding photographs. Like I'd like to congratulate for that. And
Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank
मुझे
you
एक
so
डाउट
much.
था as in
Yes.
मतलब as a photographer how was that feeling to get in front of the camera? Like वो photos आपने खुद लिए थे या किसी को बुलाया था?
No, yeah, no. I hired a proper wedding photographer. So I used to do a wedding photography before,
Yeah,
but then I've realized that wedding is not the only genre where I want to make it or build myself, because I wanted to make my own statement. And travel was something where I was feeling much comfortable, much introspective while clicking pictures. So
hmm.
I moved on to the travel side completely. So during my wedding, I was not having any contacts around me who would be able to shoot for me. So we both hired a good team of photographers, and they did a fabulous job. But I
So
must say, I mean, I'm pretty friendly over the camera here in front of you. But when somebody else is clicking my pictures, I'm very, I mean, cautious. I feel a little bit awkward in front
yeah.
of the camera. I'm pretty comfortable in back of the camera always.
Yes, yes,
But
yes. I
yeah,
can
it goes
feel
like
that right
that.
now. I can literally
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like over the years, I've been behind the camera, and suddenly, if I have to get in front of the camera, it makes me shivering. Like I'm sitting in an AC room right now, and I'm literally having
Yeah, yeah,
sweats
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So,
It
so
happens. It happens. It happens.
yeah. So जो वेडिंग फोटोग्राफर्स थे उनको आप इंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे थे कि ऐसे फोटो लो वो पोज वगैरह वही दे रहे थे या
No,
फिर
no,
यू वर जस्ट एंजॉयिंग योर
no,
वेडिंग?
no, no. No, no. I was just enjoying my wedding. I just made sure that the type of work that I am expecting, I'm having a photographer like that. So I did not wanted a classic traditional kind of look into my wedding pictures. So I hired photographer likewise who will look into the work the way I wanted it. So they did a fabulous job at the end of the day.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So let's begin with the questions. So you've already discussed about the journey of your photography career, and the
Mhm.
first question I would like to ask is, what are your plan for your future? Like, how are you seeing yourself as a photographer 5 years, 10 years down the line?
Whoa. Uh, that's a great question, but the answer to this question would be very tricky, because we are all seeing the current situation.
Hmm.
I mean, nobody would have expected that the world would close down for a year. Yeah, so that's the complete scenario right now, and I am professionally a travel photographer, and traveling is my part of career
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
But the traveling is stopped at the moment. So the new normals, whatever the new things comes in pictures, now travel agencies and tourism boards are looking towards the sanitization and the health safeties that they are looking towards for the people when the traveling is in coming in picture. Even the real estates, when we talk about the restaurants or the hotels, the stay options, whatever, the camping options, all are looking for the sanitizations. Everybody is very cautious these days. So along the
right,
journey, I can say that the close down the line, the thing would be that I would be trying to shoot would be around the safety travel, how to travel like a good traveler, or what are the safety measures you should be considering while in current situations, the situations which are happening these days, how you should be traveling. Those kind of stories I would be trying to cover. Along the 5 years down the line, I'm not sure. The money comes in like this or goes away like this. So
yeah,
you are never sure about when you are. See, wedding is one of the areas where you will be having a recurring money.
hmm.
The moment you have a client, you know the season is coming, you know whom to approach, you know how to buzz them. You can point out the money coming in your bank account, right? But
Right,
the traveling, creating stories, is completely dependent upon how market is working on, how people are reacting to the travel options of the providers. So that's how my goals would be changing. I would be having the dynamic goals. I'm open to pretty all the options actually.
Mm.
I'm not looking into travel options these days now because I'm pretty frank. The traveling is the thing that is the most difficult thing into the photography which is coming these days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would be looking into the commercial works, which is already happening. So working for the commercial clients might be IT industries, might be any food industries. You never know. Might be product industries. You should be shooting for the products. As long as you have the knowledge what to do and how to do, you should be able to work on anything. I might jump back into the wedding industry. You never know. One of the major thing these days is to look out for the survivor options than going down and saying
Right.
that this is not doable and I am going back. It's not the right thing. The right thing is to find out good options, normalize yourself to the current conditions, and work accordingly.
Right.
So I'm really not sure what I'll be doing 5 years, 10 years down the line, but my options would be I would be probably I would love to work into the travel industry as much as possible. I would just love to travel into different areas, explore unexplored places. I like to inspire people with my stories because I like to write as well. So I write about my images, I write my own blogs, I write into travel magazines as well. So I would like to inspire people with my work more and more often. So let's see how the industry goes, and probably I'll mold myself accordingly.
Okay, so speaking of travel photography, how do you decide that this is the place I want to go to next? Like, is it based on the client's requirement or you yourself decide?
Uh, so there are two aspects. If you're working on projects, so what happens is that how travel industry works is either you go by yourself, cover a story, come back and reach out to different travel and tourism boards. Or there is a other way where travel and tourism reach out to you first, ask you to cover a story for a particular destination. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the researching area and where to go, it is really important that at the end of the day, what matters is your story sellable? Are you going work is going to get sold somewhere, not just to a particular person, but somewhere over the internet, over the digital world? Is it going to get a good sell and you are going to earn a money or not?
Hmm.
If it is going to happen, you should be traveling there. No matter where you go, I've seen my work. I mean, my worst pictures got sold over the internet, and I have earned a bunch of money through that. So it's not. We never know what market is asking for. The day would be asking. I mean, who would have imagined that the people with masks would be in a huge demand these days over the stock agencies? It's the most demanding picture over these days. I mean, everybody is looking for the sanitizers. Even the sanitizers bottles are getting sold over just 500 meters area. So it's just like it's just all about demand and supply. So you have to think out of the box every time,
Right.
shoot out through your heart, and try to sell your pictures or try to work on pictures through your business mind.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
good to be an artist, but you should be good at being a businessman as well. I have started realizing these facts recently more. Once the pandemic hit, I've started realizing that, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always great to be an artist and working for your own growth and etc. etc. But at the same time, money comes in that way as well. I'm not saying that you will not have a money, but at the same time, the things will happen like if the crisis come for that particular area where you are working in, you might face challenges in future.
Right.
So you have to plan for future well ahead,
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
and that's what I'm trying to do these days actually. So that's how it is.
Right. So, as you mentioned that you need to be aware of places that are trending right now, or maybe people wanting to, travel to those places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think as a travel photographer, one would require to, keep themselves updated about the stories that people love to read, places that people love to visit, right?
Yeah, surely, surely,
So,
surely.
so
But yeah,
yeah. So,
please go ahead.
what do you suggest? What would Prathamesh Dixit suggest to a beginner who is planning to get into travel photography, and how should he get along? He or she get along with the beginner to intermediate and advanced level? Like, let's suppose starting from, you know, beginning what specific places to shoot, and then what people love to read, like the whole ground.
Yeah. So that's a great question for the person who is looking out for an career advice onto the travel photography, if that is making sense.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what you are asking for,
that's
yeah?
exactly what
Yeah,
I'm asking.
yeah, yeah. So I would like to start from the intermediate level because when you're trying to be a travel photographer, I would definitely say that if you are trying to be a travel photographer, you should be good at portraits, you should be good at low lights, you should be good at landscapes, you should be clicking pictures from different perspectives. And these challenges you would be able to handle only when you are at intermediate level. As a beginner, you should be focusing on these. So what, as a beginner, what you should be looking for is to try to groom yourself being a good photographer, not just a clicker, but a photographer. As an artist, look from different perspectives, look for different angles of stories. I mean, the same person, you can click from different angles and can create a different visual appealing stories. So that's what the first motive of beginners should be.
Hmm.
As a place, I would not say that people should be looking out for which place I should be shooting as a travel photographer. You should never be looking for out for the place because the internet is growing so fast that every place is available over the internet.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, right,
what
makes
my
sense.
suggestion would be as a travel photographer would be to look out for options which are subtopics of your places.
Hmm. Hmm,
So,
hmm.
for example, when I went to Vrindavan Nandgaon Holi coverage, I covered the cliche for Holi festival, which is a big hit, and I mean, I liked my pictures pretty well,
I
so I
saw
was
those
happy with the
photos, like it
outcome.
was really amazing.
Yeah,
I saw those photos on your profile.
yeah, thank you so much. But what inspired me more over the journey into Nandgaon and Vrindavan Holi festival was the last day when I shot videos of Vrindavan. Yeah. So again, it was again a cliche Holi where widows of Vrindavan. So if you don't know, if the people don't know, there are almost 20,000 widows into Vrindavan alone.
Okay.
All over the India, from all over the India, 20,000 widows are placed in Vrindavan. They are starving for food. Recently, just government started to work on policies where they would be looking towards the widows of Vrindavan and etc. etc. But the thing is, in recent years, they started Fulo ki Holi
Hmm.
for widows of Vrindavan. So Holi celebration was banned, as Indian culture says, widows are not allowed to do anything outside staying at place, just a staying at place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's everywhere across the India. It was the same case for widows of Vrindavan as well. But recently, government started widow wali holi, fulo wali holi for widows. Now, I was there to cover that holi because it was that day. But when we reached there, we got to know that our honorable chief minister of Goa is no more, Manohar Parrikar. Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
the only day when widows of Vrindavan was having their own celebration over the year. It was the only single day. But uh, what those widows decided is not to celebrate the Holi on that day and give a tribute to Manohar Parrikar on that day. When I got to know about that stuff, my mind started realizing that, oh, it's a different story. Now you should be looking out for videos of Vrindavan into different perspective. I was there to shoot happy moments of videos of Vrindavan, but suddenly I started to look into the darker side of their inner peace. So I started shooting them into black and whites, even in colors. I started shooting their hands. I started shooting them faceless as a black faces into shadows and etc. etc. So
Right.
that's an inspiring story for me, and that's a unique story altogether. Nobody has that story.
Obviously,
Everybody was there.
even I didn't know about this. Like this,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
any photo from this event with this story will obviously make sense to a lot of people. Like everyone who
Exactly.
sees these photos, they will even share with others because I'm sure that they wouldn't
Right.
be knowing about it.
Exactly. So it's a
Right.
unique story. I was at the same place. There were almost like 200, 300 photographers, but I got to know my subjects. I realized that what I wanted to shoot today,
Right.
and I shot it. And I did not shot it for selling purpose. I tried to inform to few newspaper agencies in Maharashtra because I was all the way long there. I tried to inform to few people in Maharashtra, but I was unsuccessful into that. So then I just published
Right.
my blog with those photographs, and it was a big hit.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy with my work. So
Right. Right. Right.
it's it's a gamble. You have to work into selling your work, or you really want to work for yourself. It's a two
Right.
different things. And when shooting, if beginner is looking for, I'm pretty sure as a beginner, I never thought of selling my work. For 5 years, I never thought of selling my work. I was just focusing on grooming myself, participating in different exhibitions, trying to convey my stories. So what, coming to back to your question, what as a beginner, what people should be focusing as a travel photographer is trying to create a unique story. You should be having at least 5 to 10 good images of that particular place, which will convey your heart out through your images.
Yeah.
Whatever
Right.
you wanted to convey, particular point, your unique story, because nobody was there at the same place shooting your own emotions. And what makes my pictures different, I would not say, but people say it, that they look like paintings. They look like paintings because my emotions comes out like that.
Right.
When the final pictures comes out, emotions comes out like that. So that becomes your style. So what makes you a different travel photographer, even if you are traveling at the same place like multiple travel photographers, is your emotions and what you are feeling. So you have to be constantly taking your pictures through your heart, not through your camera. That's what I would like to convey to the photographers who are trying to groom themselves as a travel photographer, or any kind of photographer for that matter.
Right. So when you said that a photographer should take pictures from their heart. So what do you, I mean, what do you look in a scene before taking a picture? Like, okay, I mean, it should begin from inside, right? Okay, I'm looking for this emotion, and this is what it should look. So how do you decide that? How do you bridge that gap? Like what's emoting inside you and what you're seeing in front of you. That gap, how do you bridge that?
Right. So, so what you are trying to convey is how I try to replicate my emotions into my images, if I'm correct,
Exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you would have that thought, right? Okay, this is the emotion that I want to bring out of my photographs, and this is what the scene should look like. The post editing is
Right.
different stuff, but what you capture, that raw content that you capture in your camera, right? What should a person who is intending to become a photographer have in their brain before taking a picture? Like it should click that, okay, this is the picture why I want to click.
Yeah. So, um, if you are looking out for, so this question is for creating a story of your
Exactly,
own.
exactly,
Yeah, not
exactly,
replicating a story, the
exactly,
story of
exactly.
your own. See,
Yes.
that thing happens. See, if you are an artist, artists are emotional by heart from the beginning. I mean, no artist in the world is not emotional.
Yes,
Everybody
yes,
is emotional.
yes,
Every
yes, yes,
artist is having lots of emotions into him.
yes.
Everybody has different perspective, and that's why they are artists. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you go into the scene, what you should be looking out for, at least a statement or the subject, what you want to shoot. If so, coming back to the same question, the widows of Vrindavan, what touched me is that, why this day, why today? I mean, they could have done it tomorrow as well. Why today they are giving tribute to Manohar Parrikar? Why? So the subject was coming back is humanity.
Right.
Getting my point?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So the
yes.
subject was humanity.
Hmm.
So that was in my mind. And are we human to widows of Vrindavan? That was my second question.
Right.
We are not. We are not. Even there are multiple photographers visiting them over the years. Nobody goes back in between years and say hi to them. They go back after a year, shoot the same people again, post it over the internet, yeah,
Hmm.
get different multiple likes, comments, wow, this is great, this is that, etc., etc. But nobody looks out from the perspective of humanity. I completely agree. Raghurai once said that you should not, as a photographer, you should be focusing on clicking a picture. You should not be very emotional or attached to the person or the subjects you are shooting.
Hmm.
And he was pretty right when he's talking about the photojournalism perspective. If you are being a photojournalism, if you are being a photojournalistic, you should not be emotional to your subjects towards subjects. You should not be pretty much emotional. You should be looking out for clicking a good picture.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But what happens is when you are trying to cover a travel story, you want to convey the emotions to the travel readers or the people who are going to see your images. You want to convey those emotions. So you have to keep that in mind. And then once you have the subject in mind, you have to work on different perspective. So the first thing comes is watching your subjects,
Mm-hmm.
finding out what subject you can bring in from the scene. The second thing you should be looking out for, what different perspectives I can bring into the images.
Right.
Yeah, because the same when you travel to the not so unique destinations or popular destinations, what happens is you would be having photographer on left, you would be having photographer on right, you would be having two photographers standing back on your neck. So everybody would be having the same scene. Yeah,
Yes.
what different from the same place you could be able to do? That's what you should be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be able to do slow shutter? Can I be able to look into black and white? Can I be able to do into high key images, low key images? What my end result would be after the post processing? If I'm not able to do it right now, what I can do into the post processing? That's these thoughts you should be having into your mind, and that's how you would be able to pull out your unique stories.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I hope
Right.
I made a
So
sense.
yeah, you're making a complete sense. But what my next question is, uh, what do you think is more important, the picture or the story that you tell about that picture? What do you
Mm,
consider more important? Like what reaches uh, a mile extra? Like it's the photo or the story that you say with using that photo?
uh, so the photograph, the visual appeal is always great to have. So if you are
Hmm.
having a good photograph and decent story, it will always sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see what happens is what we look for. Why all the banners over the highways are having good big pictures and then small words, two words. Yeah, if you are looking for big banners over the highways, they'll have two words, their logo, and a like giant big picture.
Yeah.
Why is that is happening? Because they know that the visual appeal is pretty fast of human than readability. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people always see what happens is people always read letters first. That's
Hmm.
my observation. If you are
Yeah.
putting a big logo onto your picture, people will read that logo first and then they'll look out for the picture. But if you are having a picture, big picture, and which conveys a story, they'll understand it and just read the two letters and they'll move on. They'll
Right.
get the story. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a different game again, talking about if you're talking about if you want to convey just a story through pictures, you should be having a good picture. If you are talking about a good writer or travel story or photojournalism story, you should be having a good writer. You should be good at writing. So you have to find out a middle path between that,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do. If you want to write a story through these pictures, then you can have a decent pictures, but at the same time you need a good writer. But again, I would say good pictures, good write-up wins the heart. I mean, you cannot say that, you can have this much as 60% and this much as 20% is
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then rest will do on the website appeal and all. No, it doesn't work out. You have to
Okay.
take everything as 100%.
Okay. So, relating to this question, I would ask another question is, when you post a picture or click a picture, you add your own story, as in what you think of that picture, or what that picture wants to actually say. Keeping the same example about that widows in Vrindavan, right? The
Right.
thing you said, the whole community of widows, 20,000 communities paid a tribute to late Manohar Parikar. So,
Right.
so this is a straight example that you will obviously keep this story to make people aware of their sacrifice. So
Right. Right.
when you are having a picture that doesn't have similar stories, like something people should know, so you add your own stories to that, like what you felt while capturing the picture. How do you take care of that storytelling part?
No, so what happens is that that thought processing happens afterwards for me. What I click as a travel photographer is every detail.
Hmm.
So if I'm traveling to Venice or if I'm traveling to Paris, I'm traveling probably traveling once in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be capturing everything. I should not be focusing into just capturing a story because I'm traveling for myself. So I should be covering everything first.
Hmm.
If you are good at covering multiple things, you should be covering those.
Mm-hmm.
So, right? So I would be covering every aspects. I would probably be shooting food. I would be shooting different bridges of that area. I would be shooting my own observations. So once I was in Oxford University, I observed that there are everybody is walking on either walking or riding a bicycle. Nobody is having two-wheelers or four-wheelers there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is riding either bicycles or walking on their foot. So
Okay.
what I observed is a new story. So I started capturing it.
I saw
Yeah.
that photo
So
too. A lady is walking by
yeah, I
and
mean,
there's a cycle parked there.
exactly, exactly. So it was having both the aspects. The bicycle is a heart of Oxford University, and everybody is student, everybody is grounded. They like to walk. No matter you are a professor or Nobel Prize winner into Oxford University or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is happy to ride on bicycle or walk.
Okay.
So that's what the different perspective you should be looking out for while clicking the pictures, I would say.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So my next question is, how stressful it is to be a photographer. Like, I saw a recent tweet from you saying that photography is nothing less than other art forms. Like, it is as
Yeah.
difficult as any other art form. So what's your take on that? Like, how difficult or how easy it is to become a photographer?
Uh, so that tweet had a different meaning altogether. I was not talking about in the form of stress or difficulty. Uh, but my inner instinct is the photography is not getting a recognition like any other art form. It is being considered as pretty easy. You can
Exactly.
click a single button. If you have a good DSLR camera of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, you would be able to click the same picture with your camera. I mean, it's not a big deal. That's what everybody thinks over the internet. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not the case. Sometimes
Yeah.
the time investment that photographer has to go through is tremendous. I mean, while traveling to any destination, I'm investing, first of all, I'm investing, if I'm traveling for my own, I would be investing a lot of money. I would be investing a particular time and date. So I would be liable to be working on those images and those destinations
Mm-hmm.
in that time itself. Doesn't matter what the weather conditions are. That doesn't matter what is happening into that particular city. Are there any riots happening, etc., etc. All the market status. You you cannot. I mean, everything we have to work upon from the research perspective till the post production. Even if we come back with the thousands of images from particular different at the end of the day, after sorting every image, probably for me takes hour or two for the post production. Unless and until I am happy with the results, I would not post it over the internet. And sometimes happens like that. Yesterday I have edited the image and I'm trying to post it tonight, and I'm not liking the image, I would not post it.
Mm.
So it's a very tough job. People should be taking photography pretty much seriously. It's not that everybody cannot do it. Everybody can do it if they learn the right way to do it. I mean, mathematics is something that everybody can learn,
Mm.
but are they willing to learn is the first question.
Right.
Are you excited to learn the craft? If you are, then only you would be able to do it. So photography is like that. Photography is a different science.
Mm.
You would be learning the science, applying your imagination's creativity into it, and building an end result. and that's why everybody is getting different results. So you should be taking it pretty seriously. It's a difficult thing to work upon, but if you enjoy it, you would like to walk miles and miles for that. I remember walking in Himalayas like in early chilling weather for, I mean, 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, just like that, just to get the sunrise shots. I mean, that happens if you have that instinct. I mean, while coming back from the Chandratal Lake, there was nobody on to the Chandratal Lake. I was shooting a project for one of the touring agency, and they asked me to cover complete Spiti Valley.
Hmm.
So I was at Chandratal Lake, and I was not getting a different perspective. So I climbed up the hill during the evening time. I climbed up the hill alone. I stayed there. I tried to find out a perspective. I couldn't get it. I still tried to get it, and I was there till darkness.
Hmm.
And by the darkness, I could hear from the Chandratal Lake, I was able to hear the echoes of people from the Himalayan valley around the Chandratal Lake. But as the dawn started to go down, as the sun started to go down, people started to move back. And the last stage was I was the only person standing there, and I started to frighten a little bit. What will happen if I'll be here alone in the darkness, because I don't know how to go back. I know the road
Right.
is risky to travel into Himalayan terrain alone. So you have to be pretty aware. You have to sometimes take few risks, and at the same time you have to build your own challenges by yourself, succeed them, and work upon next challenge. So that's how the journey is. If anybody is looking out to be a photographer, they have to give it 100%. Otherwise, just move back. Look out for 9 to 5 jobs. It's more than simple for you. Yeah,
Right, right, right. That was really amazing answer. Okay,
yeah.
so what else I was thinking is you've been in that journey of a beginner, intermediate, and advanced now. You're a award-winning travel photographer now. So, what
Right.
are those mistakes that you see beginners make that literally annoys you? Like, not annoys you. Annoying is a bad word, I'd say. That disappoints you. Like as a beginner,
Uh,
you made those mistakes, and people are again making those mistakes.
so you are asking in terms of the technical aspects, or just any kind of mistakes that
Generic,
beginner
generic.
makes?
Be it in terms of technical, be it in terms of those disciplinary aspects that as a photographer, a beginner photographer should be aware of.
Yeah. I would like to speak about one aspect which kept in my mind right away.
Mm-hmm.
That happens with the professionals as well. Huh? So I would like to talk about everybody. I'm not saying that, I'm pretty much professional and I'm successful and I'm doing this and that. I'm still a struggler. I'm still fighting. I'm still finding works. That happens with every artist, every person over the earth. Everybody is trying to find a new work every day. But one of the things that annoys me in humans, all the humans, not about photography, what annoys me most is nobody is ready to accept their mistakes.
Right.
If somebody experienced person is talking about your work and saying in person that, boss, your work is nice, but this is what is not going right. I think as a person who knows little bit about this genre, you should be working on these aspects. People
Mm-hmm.
don't take it seriously. They think that, he's just trying to mock you around and he's not into your work. Just respect the fact that he's talking out to you.
Mm.
Just just say thank you so much. I respect your opinion, and I'll definitely look into it. And then furthermore, think upon that. If you don't think that it was a good advice, just leave it, but respect the person's opinion first. What happens is you should be trying to keep yourself grounded as much as possible as you grow, because what happens is you started to gather a weight of awards and people recognitions and this and that. But what happens over the night when you're sitting in front of the computer, you're alone, and you and your images are talking with each other. As long as your images are saying, boss, you are doing justice to me, you should not be worrying about the people talking around. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, if somebody else is saying that, boss, this is not the right thing, or you're not on to the right track, start learning that fact. start finding out that are you really onto the right track, or are you getting misled by somebody around, the social media networking, etc., etc. You
Mm-hmm.
should be focusing on your craft more than social media likes and etc.,
Mm.
because those things will come at the end of the day if you are really focused on how you should be working, or what are your thoughts, and if you're doing things by your own heart, no, the things will come out by their own. Destiny will take matters in hand, and destiny will walk along with you. So you should not be worrying about that much. So the only advice I would like to give out to beginners is respect whosoever is giving you out opinions.
Mm.
No matter it is good or bad, just respect it, leave it, think upon it, research it. If you think it's a good one, apply it, say thank you to person in, big over the big media or on the social media, that this person helped me to grow, or this person has helped me to do this, etc., etc. Accept the fact
Mm.
and move on. That way you will learn faster, you will grow faster than trying to grow by your own.
Right. Okay. So, speaking of correcting people, like you've been into this industry for long enough now. Like you have come across a lot of people, and you have taken a couple of hundreds and thousands of photos, and you have been in front of and back of the camera enough to tell people that okay, this is right and this is wrong. So, has there been any encounter that where people, maybe people you know or people are randomly appearing in front of you on social media, has asked you about reviewing their profile, you reviewing their photographs, maybe any instance if you can remember?
There are pretty few. I
Hmm.
would be pretty honest. There are pretty few, and one of them was you who asked me, like, I'm trying to learn the photography. Just tell me
Yes.
what to do.
I
Yeah.
remember. I remember.
So
That's how
yeah,
we met actually.
yeah. Exactly, exactly the thing. I mean, how you grow, how you communicate, how you network and build your community,
Hmm.
it's just by talking with people. You just have to be open, ask questions. I'm really introspective. I'm not introvert. I'm introvert. I cannot express myself to other people easily. Go and talk with the unknown person and ask about advice. So what I do is I just research by myself.
Hmm.
That's the thing what I do. But if the people are not doing by own research, or even if they are not asking for the advices, that's a bad thing. So there are very few instances when people ask me about the feedbacks, and I have always given my honest feedbacks. If this is right, this is wrong, I always begin by saying yes, this is a great thing, you are doing better than your past, you should be focusing doing better in your future. And these are the
Okay.
things, 1 2 3 points where you should be working upon. And probably while clicking a picture, just work on these 3 points and see your picture. If you think this is better than the current picture, if you think that is better, go with that approach or follow your own heart. Thank
Right.
you so much. That's the end from my side. As
Right.
simple as that. So that's how my advices would be to people. I would not talk much about it. If somebody is really keen looking out for my advices, I look out for that. So recently I've started doing portfolio reviews for intermediate photographers who
Yeah.
don't know how to build their own portfolio. When I've seen people doing portfolios, I've got advices from international photographers. I'm not saying this by my own. I've got advices from international photographers that while putting your portfolios, you should be having as less pictures as possible.
Hmm.
So 10 to 15 pictures in your portfolio is more than enough. You should not be having more than that. And if we ask person to show his portfolio of last 5 years, he'll probably show minimum 50 images. Why to show 50 decent images, and why not to show 15 great images when somebody is looking at your work first time? Who will
Hmm.
get hired? Who is
Hmm.
having a 15 images with great work, consistency, than the 50 images with decent changes, issues here and there, etc., etc. So always focus on creating and building your great portfolio. No matter what type of work, I'm talking about the photography perspective. Even if you are in different industries as of working as a freelancer, you should be focusing on your portfolio. Likewise of having a great client base. If you are having a great credible client,
Hmm.
highlight him first.
Hmm.
Why not to highlight him first? Why you need to highlight Microsoft as a 50th client than not as a first client? Yeah, you should be shouting Microsoft is my client
Yeah,
easily.
of course.
Exactly, and that's where
Yeah.
the digital marketing perspective comes in picture. Probably you would be aware of it. You can, I mean, you're the right person to talk about the digital marketing and all. I personally got multiple advices from you, so I would like to say thank you in front of all the people here that, I
I'm
mean,
really
whenever I
flattered.
was in trouble, I just burst. Shubham, this is the issue. Just tell me how to do it. I'll do it. Just tell me how to do it.
Yes, yes,
He
yes.
told me every time, taking by his own time out, and then, I mean, it works for me like a charm. So Shubham is the go-to guy for me always.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So you were talking about portfolio. So this has, got me interested. Like, if I have to create a portfolio from scratch, and I genuinely have no idea how to create a portfolio of a photograph, right? So
Right.
how should I get through this? How should I begin with that? Like, what all should I have things ready before I even create a photograph, portfolio?
So even to before starting your own portfolio, you should be aware of what genres you can shoot. What is your style statement? What works out for you more often? What people likes you out of you when you are trying to get your work?
Hmm.
So, for example, in my case, I would like to shoot landscapes, cityscapes. So that becomes a part of travel. So travel is my forte. Travel is my something which is close to my heart. I like to travel. I like to explore unexplored places across the world. Yeah. So traveling is my genre. Decide your genre first.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then try to shoot different perspectives while creating your portfolio. Make sure that you're not having same subjects repeated or from the same perspective. Yeah, you
Yeah.
should be having different areas. The world is big enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, even in studios, you can shoot different subjects at the same time. So why to shoot the same subject from different angle and consider it as a portfolio? You should be having different perspectives, different angles, different color tones. Show your variations, show your style of work, show how flexible you are doing work. My fortes are like travel is my forte. I like to shoot people in candid moments while traveling. So people is
Hmm.
my another thing. I like to cover cultural stories around the world. So culture is my another thing. So travel, people, and culture are those three subjects which I would like to shoot for. So for every subject, I would be targeting just 12 images in an year. And trust me, you would not be able to get those even 12 images in a year. It's very difficult. I mean,
Okay.
after a year, I've changed my portfolio and I've just changed a couple of images into that.
Hmm.
So while trying to shoot your portfolio, the most important thing is how you start as a digital marketer with a zero follower, right? How I started as a photographer with zero people knowing me. Everybody has to start at zero.
Hmm.
So you just have to kick in while creating your portfolio. You just have to kick in. You have to find out what is the work. If you are having a backup somewhere, what is the work that is inspiring you more unknowingly?
Hmm.
What are the things that you are shooting more often unknowingly? Just go through your backup, find out all the images that you are shooting, just separate them out from the perspectives like wildlife or birds or fashion or food, etc., etc. Find out 10 best images onto all the sections. Then start comparing those sections. Which sections are appealing to my heart most? Even before going out to different people around, just try to find out what genres are your, areas of interest. And
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
just find out 3 to 4 genres which are going to get a part of your portfolio. As simple as that.
Okay, right. So when you say a portfolio, is it like it becomes a fixed, as in unless you have something really great to replace with, is it okay? So if I have 15 photos in my portfolio, I'll have it as my visiting card. Whenever someone approaches me and asks me for my portfolio, I'll show them that. And
Exactly.
whenever when I have something else to replace it with, I'll replace that in my portfolio. So that is how it works, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly. So what happens is, Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, continue,
please go
continue,
ahead.
continue, continue.
It was the same question, right? So
Yes, yes,
how?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So what happens is when you try to find out your pictures, you know that the 12 pictures are going to be your best pictures, right? So you
Yeah,
read them in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 12.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you continue, you forget those 12 pictures, and now you continue shooting your images all around the world.
Hmm,
There would be one instance where you would find that this particular image can come at place number 10.
hmm.
Yeah, and the place number 12 image is not worth anymore for you. You don't like it, but you are keeping it just because of number. You are keeping it because just you are attached emotionally that okay, I liked it, I traveled so much, I walked 15 kilometers for it. It is a decent image. The clouds are not good, but still I love it. So I want to keep it in my portfolio. So you keep it.
Yeah,
But once you come up with an easy image, but that's a great image, you started realizing that yes, boss, it's a portfolio image and it should go at number 10. And this particular image, which was in past, which was not decent one, I should be removing it. So just remove that one.
hmm.
Remove the bad ones. The simple work of the portfolio is remove the bad images, find out the great stuff. Whatever is your best stuff, when working into the visual industry, you should be showcasing only your best work
Yeah,
on your websites at least, which is your credibility place. On websites you should be showing your only the best work to the clients,
yeah,
because clients want to see only your best work. They don't have enough time in this digital area. uh, Nobody has enough time. They'll just look out into your pictures in 1 minute, 2 minute, and would decide if they want to hire you or not. Even
yeah,
if they find one image bad with the bad clouds, they'll say, oh, he don't know how to edit clouds, just remove him. They'll
yeah,
just move on to the different person. So
yeah.
correctly, and I mean very focusedly, you have to show only your best work. So that's how the portfolio selection works out.
Okay, right. That was really, really helpful. Like to recap, I would just, just go through whatever you've said in terms of, creating that portfolio stuff. So first thing I would need is creating, understanding my own genre,
Exactly.
right? Yes, after I understand my genre, I have to fix a perspective. Like, okay, so this is the perspective I'm looking for, and that should be uniform throughout my portfolio, right?
Yeah, I mean, perspective, rather than saying perspective, I would say style statement, your own stories.
Yeah, so that you are talking in terms of style. Okay, so travel and portraits, sorry, landscape is your style. Shooting people is your style. So that's what you mean by when you say
No,
style.
so those are genres. Those are genres.
Okay.
Travel, people, culture are different genres.
Hmm.
But having a different, so if you look out at my cityscapes, they would
Hmm.
always be having a surreal feel, dramatic feel to
Yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes. So,
That's a
so
mood
okay,
of your pictures. So that's
okay.
the second thing which comes in picture. Consistency, having a consistent portfolio throughout
Mm-hmm. Right.
is the second thing. Yeah.
Okay, right. We have a question here. If someone wants her portfolio, then how to book the appointment? Shri Datta has asked this. If someone wants her portfolio, then how to book the appointment? So is Shri Datta your? I mean, do you know her or what is it like? Your smile is
Yeah, so she
telling me
she is one
something.
of my friend. I mean, yeah. So she is my friend. She was my colleague back in when I was in IT industry. So
Okay.
she's just asking me. So Shreyasi, whenever I'll come and hit Kolkata, we'll do the portfolio. Don't worry about it. I'll charge you enough for that one.
Right, right, right. Right, Prathamesh Dixit, right. So, frankly speaking, I had listed around 25 questions for you, and I haven't
Oh,
even,
really?
yes, and I haven't even finished five right now. And I
So
also
was I
had a,
slow?
no, no, you are really value added a person. So, and I also had rapid fire for you, but as we discussed earlier, we have this time constraint, and we have to, end this session right now. So
Right,
at
right,
the
right.
end,
Unfortunately, my service provider decided to drop an internet connection by 11 p.m. Otherwise,
yeah,
I would have loved to
yeah,
continue, but
seriously, even I was
seriously
loving it.
don't know when he'll close it off.
Right.
So
So
probably we'll do the second round. I
obviously,
don't mind.
obviously, I'm not going to leave you so easily.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to finish these 25 questions. Right. So at
Great,
the
great,
end
great.
of this session, I would like to tell you that whoever is loving travel photography or just photography, do ensure that you follow Prathamesh Dixit. He has some of the amazing pictures taken, and I have personally come across. So the last question for the last, just before we begin, end the session, what are the three places you've been, like three best places you've been?
The best places I've been.
Yeah,
So my most favorite is Venice. I just love that place. I mean,
yeah.
I've shot it like I was traveling alone to the Venice
I saw
and I
those
was there
photos. I
5 days all alone. And
yeah,
Venice is my favorite destination across the world.
yeah.
I mean, as of now, Venice is my favorite. The
Mm.
second favorite is Scotland, which I love. And the third favorite, you can say, I would not say Paris. Paris is like, okay, I just loved it. That's it. It's a romantic place for couples. It's not like because Paris has been shot to death.
Yeah, of course,
The
of
third,
course.
my favorite place would be anything between Ladakh and Spiti. So anything around Himalaya would be my favorite places. So these are
Right.
my top three places as of now.
Right. So this is the first video that I'm going to clip off from this whole clip. Like, what are the top three places Prathamesh Dixit love?
Sure, sure, sure. No
I
worries.
purposefully had this question to be asked first, but for some reason I forgot to ask this. Like, it's in top five right now.
Okay, no worries, no worries. You can
Right,
use
right,
it,
right.
no
So,
issues.
so what we'll do is we'll have another session. We'll get everything covered.
Exactly, exactly. I don't mind. As many sessions as you want, I'll be there because you helped me. I'm going to help you for sure. No
Yes,
worries
of
with
course,
that.
of course, of course, of course. Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll end this session here, and in the end, I'll again say that make sure you follow Prathamesh Dixit. He's amazing photographer, and he's putting out amazing content related to travel. So, anything
I
else you
would
would like to
again,
add?
before the end, yes, I would like to say thanks to you and the people who have joined. It's a Friday night and they
Yeah,
thought that the
of course.
photography is something that they should be looking towards on Friday night. So I would definitely like to thanks everybody and thanks to you, Shubham, for giving me this
Yeah,
opportunity to talk
of
with
course. I
you.
mean, I should thank you, man. This is my first live session, and you have made it really special. Like as you said, it's going to be. I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, 1 hour goes like this. You don't even realize that how quickly you can finish this session. So
Yes,
it's an easy thing. So yeah,
yes, Prathamesh. So I guess it's time to leave now. So we'll catch up
yes,
soon,
definitely.
and we'll post this video very soon.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks
great.
for
Thank
connecting,
you so
Prathamesh.
much.
Yeah, bye
See
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye, take care.
Bye. Bye. Bye.